Hello, my name is Walter Goodwin. I just want to take a few minutes. We're entering the fourth week of class, and I just wanted to see where folks were and just to share a few words, a short the lecture just on content, pretty straightforward. Hopefully everyone has had an opportunity to get to their books, do the reading, and or look at the slides to do your assignments. I'm going to share my screen here and share my page with you so that I can talk to some of the things that we need to make sure I'm doing. This is, 5 modules. Most of the information or the number of assignments are in module 1. I would say, if that took you 2 weeks, probably should be at least on module 2 or 3, as module 4 and 5 are a little bit shorter than the other ones. Again, this is an 8-week class. You have until March the 6th to finish every single assignment. When you look in the modules, it'll look a little bit different. I'll go into the student view so you'll see actually what you're seeing when you go into the student view. It'll probably just be links, okay? Each particular link is an assignment, so you want to make sure that you're doing each assignment from the syllabus and class overview, the quiz, introduction, grammar quiz, grammar common, things there, and so on in that particular module. So that's what you're going to see. You're going to see the link. So make sure that you're doing all of the assignments. As we can see in module 2, it's chapters 4 through 6. Chapters 4 through 6. For that, talks a lot about, and as I was looking at the content, I can relate to a lot of it, being a professional in higher ed, as well as an instructor working with people. Communication and information, communication of information is very, very, very important. In my company that I work for, the companies that I work for, email is big. Email is big. And something that I typically do, I know it talked a lot about how to proof. There's built-in, systems and things that can check your work, check your spelling, check your grammar. But one thing that it doesn't check tone, and it doesn't check things that sometimes are even, a lot more important. And what I'll do a lot of times is I'll get a coworker that I trust, and I'll actually have them either come over and read the email, or I'll send it to them, in a draft form so that they can give me their feedback and let me know, am I communicating what I need to communicate. I also do the same when I'm writing, letters, whether it be a letter to request, funding for something, whether it be, a document, preparing, thoughts and feedback over what I want to cover. If I'm invited to a conference to speak, even, speaking engagements that I have, I'll have individuals read over my outline and the content and talk through that. I think it's very important that you use your network when you're doing things like this, especially written communication. And I know if it's not over 100 pages, or if it's not a long document or a long email that you need to have someone review. I have the feeling that people, if they care about you, and your friends, and you trust them, that they'll, help you with that. A lot of the chapters also talked about visuals and planning for visuals. One of the rules that that was kind of alluded to in the information is you don't have to be really fancy when you're doing visuals. I think that sometimes people who are presenting try to get too fancy and having things fly in and things maybe it's too busy. So I would say simplicity is key. And when you're using visuals, make sure you clarify the information, summarize the information as possible so that you get your point across. Very, very important that you're able to do that. Writing, as I've alluded to, is very important. The word choice that you use is very important and critical as well. When you're constructing your sentences, say be as simplistic as possible, so that you get a point across. We have to always understand, number one, who are we communicating to? If I'm communicating to a friend versus the president of the company, I may be a little bit more casual and use verbiage that I may not necessarily use in the company of my peers at work, or my boss, or someone outside the organization. So in understanding who your peers are, your word choice and the structure of your sentences and your paragraphs then become critical to what you're communicating. I like to keep things really simple, really clear, not necessarily to beat around the bush and say something or use really difficult words, unless it's, as I said, if I'm communicating with someone who has worked in higher ed, has done things in higher ed, I may use a different vocabulary versus where I'm trying to send out a message to people who may not necessarily have that background. In other words, you want to make sure that you speak their language and you choose the right word when you're communicating. Again, going back to my experience over being in a professional for over 25 years, what I found is if I understand the message that I want to give, I understand my audience, and I'm able to utilize my outside network or even network inside my company to clarify and to proofread and to give me feedback on that, I found that I've been extremely successful when doing that. One last thing I want to share is, again, this is an 8-week class. I know I said it at the beginning. 8-week class. March the 6th is coming up fairly quickly. We will have to do midterm grades. So based on what you've submitted, up to the midpoint, the 4-week point is what will be considered in your midpoint, in your midpoint grade. There have been, I think, individuals that have asked about, the book. I think I've seen some communication where you've figured that out. What you want to do is you want to go to Connect, sign in, go to that particular class, and what you'll be able to do once you go to you get into your class, you'll see a book to the left. It will be to the left. Okay. Once you click on that, you'll be able to open the book and read, for those of you who want to read versus reviewing the slides. Again, I'm here to help you. I'm here to assist you with anything that you require, you need. So feel free to give me a call and ask me questions, send me an email, and I'm very, very excited and willing to help. Have a great week. Have a great night. We'll talk to you soon. Goodbye.